The future can be a little scary to think about. After all, it is one of the only things in existence we can't find answers for. We continue to make significant progress in answering the mysteries of the universe and our past, but the future is something no one can anticipate for sure. There is no way of knowing what lies ahead for us as a species and how our planet will be in the next billion years. All we can do now is look at the data and make the most logical conclusions based on it. No one can say for sure how things will turn out for the Earth, but thanks to research, a timeline can be constructed, which is a high probability of educating us about what the future holds for the planet. In today's video, we will be discussing some of the biggest changes we are likely to experience as a species, and also how the changes in Earth's atmosphere, thanks to an aging sun and human pollution, will affect its ability to sustain life. If you are aware of the Y2K problem, we have something similar waiting for us in the future. Experts speculate that in around 10,000 years from today, humanity will run into a similar scenario which may cause mass panic. This is because the software that encodes AD calendar year as a 4-digit decimal will be unable to encode dates any longer. Additionally, humans will have evolved significantly by that time. It is estimated that if current globalization trends continue, the genetic variations we all have, such as hair and skin color, will no longer be regionalized, but instead be evenly distributed around the planet. Our language will also change substantially, as it is believed that in around 20,000 years, languages will only contain 1 out of every 100 words of the core vocabulary they are made up of today. This means that all of the languages that are currently spoken on Earth will have evolved into something very different and unrecognizable to what we speak and understand currently. Additionally, researchers warn that the effects of climate change will have taken a significant toll on the planet by this time. Another glacial period is also predicted to occur within the next 50,000 years. Within the next 100,000 years, the effect of climate change will be much more visible on the planet than they are today. Niagara Falls will be one of the first landmarks to disappear, thanks to the erosion caused by the glacial rebound. Many of the lakes located in the Canadian Shield will also cease to exist because of this. The average time in a day will have increased by around 1 full second by that point. This means we will have to add a leap second to every day. Around this time, the stars and constellations that we can observe in the sky today will also appear completely different. But the good news is, estimates suggest that humans will have turned Mars into a habitable planet by then. 250,000 years from now, the Hawaiian island chain will probably welcome a new island to its neighborhood. This is because the Loihi volcano will rise from the depths of the ocean. It may not last for a long time though, as 500,000 years from now, an asteroid around 3,280 feet in diameter is likely to strike the Earth and cause massive destruction, unless humans have found a way to stop the rock in its tracks before impact. As time goes on, many of the landmarks we have cherished on the planet for centuries will finally begin to fade away into history. One of the major sites to suffer these effects includes the Badlands National Park in South Dakota, as it will have fallen victim to complete erosion in 500,000 years. A meteor crater located in Arizona will also have completely eroded within the next 950,000 years. One of the scariest natural disasters to ever occur was the Toba eruption that almost wiped out humanity entirely some 70,000 years ago. A similar supervolcanic eruption is estimated to hit Earth in around 1 million years from now. The event is expected to spew no less than 797 cubic miles of ash on the planet. In addition to this, a massive cataclysmic event will also take place in the outer reaches of space, as the star Betelgeuse will have exploded into a blinding supernova around this time. This explosion will be so massive that it will be easily visible from the Earth. Erosion of the planet's landmarks will continue, and the next major site to be affected will be the Grand Canyon. In around 2 million years, it will have suffered from so much erosion that it would look much more like a wide valley rather than the massive deep canyon it is today. Even though our home planet will start showing signs of deterioration, it is believed that humans will have colonized several other planets in the solar system and some even outside of it. And if this theory ends up being correct, humans who have remained separate from other colonies on various planets would probably have evolved into different species. In around 10 million years from now, the Earth will start to experience a massive continental shift, as a large chunk of East Africa will break off and a new ocean basin will form between the Peace and the rest of the continent. The next significant cosmic event in our solar system will occur 50 million years from today, as Mars is expected to collide with its moon Phobos by then and cause massive destruction. Back on Earth, the shifting of continents will continue as the larger portion of Africa will shift north and collide with Eurasia, causing the Mediterranean Sea to permanently close. Additionally, a new mountain range similar to the Himalayas will emerge between Africa and Eurasia. The heights for this new range could exceed those of Mount Everest. However, in North America, the Canadian Rockies are expected to corrode into a flat plain in around 60 million years. The Hawaiian Islands may disappear completely, as they are estimated to sink back into the ocean 80 million years from now. The problems don't end there, though. Another asteroid is expected to make its way towards the Earth and is expected to be large enough to rival the mass extinction event which wiped out the dinosaurs. The surface of the Earth will continue shifting as time goes on. In 250 million years, a new Pangea will form, as all the continents will have found their way back together, but it will not last forever, as the supercontinent will break apart once again 500 million years from now. Shortly after this event, a deadly burst of gamma rays will occur around 6,500 light years away. This event could prove cataclysmic, as it would seriously damage the ozone layer and result in mass extinctions around the planet. At the same time, the sun will be steadily increasing in luminosity and causing severe effects on Earth. One of the major issues will be the seizure of plate tectonic movements and a substantial decrease in the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. A lack of carbon dioxide means that C3 photosynthesis will no longer be possible on the planet, and 99% of the current plant life will perish. To make matters worse, 800 million years from now, CO2 levels will have fallen to a point where even C4 photosynthesis will also be impossible. This will result in the depletion of oxygen and ozone from the atmosphere and will mark an end for the Earth being a planet suitable for complex life. In 1 billion years, the luminosity of the sun will have increased by around 10% than it currently is today. This will cause the surface temperature of our planet to rise to 117 degrees Fahrenheit on average. This sweltering heat will cause the atmosphere to turn into a moist greenhouse and the oceans on Earth to evaporate away. Small pockets of liquid water may still exist on the Earth's poles, but they will not be enough to sustain life on a large scale. These isolated spots will become the last bastions of life on our planet. For humanity to survive the changes happening on Earth, we will need to be a multi-planetary species and have settled on other similarly habitable planets. Like everything else, the Earth and the Sun have a life cycle that will eventually end one day. This is the natural order of things, and there is not much anyone can do to change that. However, we can try to prolong the life of our planet as much as possible by respecting it more. Currently, the levels of pollution and global warming are some of the biggest threats to our way of life and are doing unimaginable harm to the planet. Our reckless actions may end up killing Earth long before its natural life cycle ends, so we must make changes fast to avoid such a scenario. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you found today's video informative, and please leave us a like if you did, and remember to subscribe to the channel as we continue to discuss the future of our planet. Do you think humanity will be around 1 billion years from now, or will we have gone extinct long before then? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below.